Nanti masukin ke YouTube coba.
Okay, I want to ask the questions about what must the people do to avoid the natural disaster, especially that always happen in the third world country.
Sorry, could you repeat again?
Okay, this is a question for you.
Okay.
I want to ask what must the people do to avoid the natural disasters, especially the disaster that always happen in the third world countries.
Okay, like Indonesia.
Tunggu, tunggu dekat dulu. Sekarang masih ada yang pegang.
Okay.
Siap. Are you ready? Jawab ya, get
Ready.
set.
You have to hang away from it, and then number 3, if you're still in the outside, make sure that you protect yourself from the building glass or the building materials, especially like doors, just like stick or anything else like that below, especially below the building. And then number 4, if you are on fire in the apartment, make sure that you have to go outside to the exit. And number 5, if you want to do something like if you got a disaster such as looking at the animals react as weird things, that you make sure you have to make like protection. Do not sit on the trees or house, or else make sure you've got a connections with the natures, especially like as a like Japanese old story. If you got a felt uncommon disaster and so at those animals very weird reacting, make sure every people in Japan they had to live from what they had, like house, business, their business, and then living their families in Japan, and going inside to the boat, to the safety boat. That makes sure you are really gonna save. Okay. Any question for me? Okay.
Okay, the second question for you is how far does the government do to avoid the natural disasters? I mean that what kind of the obligation that governments have made for all the people, especially in Indonesia, to anticipate or at least that what the people have to do if there is the natural disaster happen in that area. Good.
What kind of obligations for the governments? Number 1, make sure that you have to build up just like the emergency sirens, especially on the beach, even though on the territorial area. And then second, the government must have a range of any rules for the disasters, like do not burst out the forests or trees, do not destroy or especially throw at your garbage to the river, ocean, or else, and then destruct for the fish. It was a very dangerous, and but it was a very makes sense. And then number 3, for the government rules of their obligation, they had to rebuild up. They had to rebuild up the rules, because no rules, no road. Because like human beings only must do anything badly, especially distracting to anything, no permission to the government, and do such a bad things as like weird reacting for making any bad pollutions for the vehicles, especially for motorcycle, for cars, especially like just like the building glass or something else like that. And number 4, if you if you wanna know about the obligations, so very lot. Because as for me, no percent, okay, no percent numbers here. Because the only things, yeah, you could make sure that yourself is really known about the rules of natural disaster, that you said as a human beings you should do anything better, especially your respect to your God's creation. Do not do not do not spread up your anger, especially your destructive anger to your to your natures, to your people, especially like to make un like to make just like uncreative idea. Okay, any question for me, Vin?
Okay, this is the last question from me. I want to ask you about uh, what has the government done to do the law enforcement, especially for the people who has done the law breakings. For example, like this, the forest what is on fire in Sumatra. We know that smoke become the natural is not natural disaster. It's a human disaster. I mean that smoke becomes something very serious. It's it can becomes they can bother the people health. I mean that so far the government has done to try to to put out the fire, but the problem is what what the government must do. I mean that the lawbreaker is still outside and they still live really. I mean that what must the government do to stop the natural disaster that causes to human like in Sumatra?
Question to me, Mr. Sabto. In Sumatra, there was a forest fire. Forest fire is someone who really bursts out dead trees or those forests for unreasonable meanings or unreasonable acts or anything else like that. But what the Indonesian governments do? Okay, the first thing, they had to make a call for the National Disaster Agency or like Basarnas or anything else like that. And and number two, they had to make any hard rules, such as for the suspect of burning off the forest, that they had to go to the jail or prison, or the Indonesian government might have done for just like making making execution, just like the death punishment, until the bad guys, either the bad guys really surrender up to the Indonesian government, and then the Indonesian government don't have to pay a lot of any acts, especially for the bad guys, how to rebuild their building into Sumatra, and then my thoughts is they had to realize what they've done, especially Indonesian government must have considered for anything what they've done or what they did something badly. But it was ungenerally act in the world, because if they really did something bad, so you gotta pull the bad guys through the break jail. Okay, that's all.